Yo YouTube, what's going down? It's A. Jones coming off another video, and this video is business advice for little kids. So before I get started with all of that, I want to talk to you guys about my setup. I have a 3 lighting kit right here, a Canon T3i. I just ordered a Blue Yeti microphone, which I will unbox, review, and test on a Jizzy Fo Shizzy. That's my other channel, which I will do like behind the scenes kind of action and what I all have, because I was always curious of what other YouTubers had. So this is my way of like showing what I have that you guys may want to have. So click on my face right here. Yeah, my face right here. If you guys want to go see that, it will open up in a new window. I will do that for you guys. So let's get started with my video, business advice for the little ones. So I may have covered this in my other videos if you guys watched all of them, but my first tip is let your parents know about your business. They'll always have your back. They'll be like, that's not really good if you do this. That's really good if you do this. I don't really trust that. I don't really trust this. I don't think you should do it. It's not a good idea. Now, all the parents say is, oh, I've lived longer than you. I know more than you. And I used to think that is total crap of what they're saying to me. It's like, I know everything, man. I'm Aaron Jones. I know everything. I know this and I know that. Then as you grow up, you're like, I should have not bought that. I should have not bought that. I'm so glad my parents told me not to buy this. I'm so glad my parents told me not to buy that. Now, of course, they're going to tell you not to buy something, you buy it, and then it turns out a huge success. That's when you go up to your parents and you're like, ha ha, I told you, son. I mean, it all works out. They got your back, you have their back. Just make sure your parents know about what you're doing, and if you don't want them to know about it, that's your risk, but risk equals reward. So that's that. Also with this, if you're afraid your parents are not going to approve of what you are doing, simply just tell them that you're curious about the business world and you want to learn how to make money, how the business operates. And I think that's a legitimate reason of why your parents should let you do what you want to do, because it's not like you're getting in any trouble. It's not like you're stealing or you're doing any violence. You're simply curious about business, and business runs the world, and I truly think that. So I think you guys should convince your parents that what you're doing is legitimate, and if I was your parent, I would totally approve of what you're doing. Also with what I said, business runs the world. It really does. Laissez-faire or whatever it is, just get the government out of businesses, and the businesses should run the world, and it would all operate. If you want to make money, you have to please your customers, and if you please your customers, they'll come back, and it's like a whole chain effect, which I'm not really going to explain, but you have regulations in the business. There should be some, but there's so many nowadays that it's total crap, and businesses cannot run the world nowadays. If you want to please your customers and please the world, business is the best way to do so. My second tip to you guys is don't be overprotective of your money. Now, that may sound really weird because you want to like love your money, you want to take care of your money, you want to have all your dough with you. If you're not overprotective with your money, then you can see what your mistakes are. So say you want to spend $20 on something to see if it will sell. If you buy that product for $20 and it ends up selling and turns out a great success, that $20 was like the best $20 ever spent in your life. But if you spend that $20 and you lose it, that's the worst $20 that you've ever lost, but you're gonna get over it. The risk and reward, that's what it comes down to. And essentially, if you're like risking that money, there's gonna be a greater reward. But if you're not gonna really risk it, there's nothing for you at the end of the road. I mean, the lady who made Spanx risked $5,000. Now that's a lot of money for me or someone else, but to some people that's not really. But it was a huge risk for her, and it all paid off because that business is worth millions. I think it may be billions of dollars just for something that she put a $5,000 investment in and time, and it all paid off. So don't be overprotective of your money, and if you want to see if something's gonna sell, take that risk, because in the long run, $20 is really not that much, and that $20 you're probably gonna die with like in your bank account. So it's live with it or die with it. So that's practically what it comes down to. My third tip to you guys is run a legitimate business. Now, I've had problems with not running a legitimate business back in the day, but if you guys run a legitimate business, you treat customers well, they'll treat you well. It goes back and forth, and if you treat someone right, they'll treat you right. If you treat someone right and they treat you wrong, well, they just suck, and they're just horrible people. Just get rid of them, never talk to them again, and yeah, you probably lost money, but in the long run, if you run a legitimate business, customers will talk about what you have to their friends, and they'll all just come over to you. And I've said this, I'm pretty sure, like 5 times in all my videos, just because it's really that big of a deal. My mom goes to restaurants, she likes the restaurants, and she's like, oh man, Patricia, did you hear about this restaurant? It's amazing. Linda, did you hear about this restaurant? It is so amazing. They treat me so right. Then they go out, they went to the restaurant. Then they talked to their friend, they went to the restaurant. And they all came back. So they treated one customer well, they ended up getting like 20 customers in just because they treated that one customer well. Now if they treat one customer wrong, they're not going to go tell anyone. They may even tell people that that restaurant sucked and they won't go to them, so they get negative 20 customers. You see what I'm saying? One customer, it all builds up either this way or it all builds up either this way to nothing. So run a legitimate business. It will all come back in the long run because word of mouth is the best advertising for a business. Word of mouth. Remember that, guys. That's the best way to advertise a business. My fourth tip My fourth tip for you guys is to venture out into what you think you would have never done. Now that may have sounded like a lot, but practically, if you don't think that you would have done this, try it. What's the worst that it's going to do? It's going to cost you a little bit of money, but then you're going to realize that's not for me. That's not for me. But if you venture out and you find it is for you, then you found something that you never would have thought you have done. And that is just an amazing feeling, guys. I don't know what I was going to say. Failure is like the best thing in business because you learn from your mistakes. You understand why it didn't work, why it did work, and you're just going to all understand what it came down to. So just try it. Try it if you think there is money in it. Try it if you think there isn't money in it. But if you think there is money in it, there is money in it. That's a guarantee. If you think there's money in it, go adventure out and try it. If everyone thinks that it's wrong, try it. The lady who invented Spanx, everyone else said that is the stupidest idea. Well, you know what? She saw there's money in it and she is now like a billionaire. Just try it out. That's a big tip for you guys. My fifth and final tip for you guys is failure is a good thing. Now I know this was like my second tip and my fourth tip, but it is so key that it is definitely necessary to say 3 times in this video, because if you don't know what you didn't know, then you won't know what you should know. So if you try what you try and it works out for you, then that is awesome. If you tried and it doesn't work out for you, then that sucks, but you're just gonna move on. Life goes on, quote Tupac. So yeah, life goes on, guys. If you fail, you're gonna be so stressed for a few days, then you're gonna bounce back up, jump on your feet, try it again, try it again, try it again, try it again, and hopefully one time it will work out for you. Now I'm not guaranteeing that if you keep on trying, something magically out of the blue is gonna happen, but how would you know that something's gonna work if you don't try at it? And that's like the key in everything. You're not gonna know until you try. So try, and hopefully you are the next millionaire. I wish you the best of luck, guys. So hopefully these tips kind of helped you. These are kind of what I think about when I go through a business is, oh, I failed at this. I just lost $300. Whoop-de freaking do. I was gonna die with that $300 anyway. That $300 could have made me a millionaire, but I didn't know it because I didn't try it. But I tried it, so I knew that that's not the next $1 million idea. But if you keep on trying and it fails, but you know that there's money in it, like you just have this feeling that there's money in what you're doing, then keep on trying at it, keep on investing money. To a point, you're just gonna have to give up just because you don't want to keep on wasting money. And that's kind of like the key in finding where to quit. Because if you keep on going, but you quit right before the mark where you're gonna hit $1 million, then that sucks. But if you keep going, you pass that $1 million point, now you're a millionaire. But what I'm saying is you gotta figure out when to quit and when to take your money out. It's kind of like stocks. When should I take my money out? When should I leave it in to get the maximum out of my business or out of my stocks? So that's a really key tip. I hope you guys understand what I was just saying right there, because I was like kind of confused in my head when I was saying it. But if you guys are confused, or if you guys have any suggestions on this video, leave it in the comment section below. Like for A. Jones for El Presidente. Actually, I cannot be president. That's a fun fact for you guys. Legitimate money-making site in the comment section below. Yes, it is a legit money-making site. I would not be promoting it if it was not legitimate. I am A. Jones 413 minus the 413, and peace out, homie.